Hey everyone, I'm working on my Malibu again. I've got some updates. I've got some new to me wheels and tires, and I've made some progress. And I'll show you guys what's going on. So if you checked out my last video, I did a cut and polish on this car. Now I can show you the end result. So also one of my other videos, I talked about I took out the Landau pillar and I made this into a standard coupe. And then I installed that back glass. I had some help from Chris Silver. Thank you very much, Chris. Anyways, I just had to get there you can see me. I just had the windows redone, the tint. The cut and polish is complete, and the car looks way better than I expected. I'll give you a little tour of that. You can see the reflection is real good. It looks deep, it looks clear, it looks flat. The reflection is great. Walk around the seat here. And the paint blending that I did around the window, you can't tell. It's ideal. It is missing something. And I've got the solution for that. We'll see if they fit. I picked up this seat. This is kind of cool. I picked up this seat from Facebook Marketplace. I think it's from like the back seat of an '07 Chev truck or a Yukon or something like that. But it's going to be a good candidate to put in my '57 truck because I have an old '80s Cadillac bench in there that needs to go. So that's just kind of a side note. So I'll just show you the front of the car. So it's really coming together. And I've got some wheels and tires to put on it. And tomorrow I have a couple of friends coming over and we need to adjust this glass because all the weather strip has been installed now. And this glass adjusts in and out like this and how much it goes up and down. And it's kind of a balance because it has to fit into this weather strip nice and tight so it's not going to be a problem for wind noise and sealing, but it also has to be able to open and close. So it's kind of a balance, and I'm not that familiar with it, but apparently somebody has written the book on it, and we're going to try and find that out. Yeah, so I'll show you what I got for wheels now. Welcome to Canada. And the ice is falling on the Tesla. Huh. Yeah. So, in the back of my truck is my big fat back tires and skinnier front tires on GM rally wheels that have been powder coated, sandblasted. I have two 75 60/15 rears and two 25 60/15 fronts. So I'll get them in the shop. This is a big tire. This is a big tire. Hope that fits. One thing you'll notice is that I went with the white letter in. I didn't want the white letters out like I have on some other stuff. I just didn't feel it was the right look for the car. So these are going to be on the inside. So this is a 15 by 8 back wheel. So I sold the other wheels that I had, which are the same wheels. This is a 15 by 8 back wheel and a 15 by 6 front wheel. And I think it turned out pretty well. The wheels had some pitting around the bead. You can't really see it here, and there's a little bit chewed up around the edge, but the trim ring's mostly going to cover that. But overall, they're pretty good. And I think the bulge is right. Like, it's not too much of a bulge. And you see, like on my, I've got BFGs on my truck, and I went with a white letter out on the truck, but it's a different look than this car. So I am going to, I guess I'll mount these up, see what it looks like. I'm excited. So these are 4-inch back spacing. The one thing that I found out is that if I was like 4¼ inch back spacing or 4.5 inch back spacing on these wheels, probably not going to fit. It'd probably rub the inner frame rail. Apparently with a 4-inch back spacing on a 275, it's a sweet spot, and you can fit it, and it shouldn't be too much trouble. I'm going to find out. And then I'll polish the trim rings, get them on, and maybe set this thing down. Well, this should be interesting. It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight for clearance. You can see I've got about 1 inch with no weight on the car. So I'll set it down. See, it's pretty close. I think it's going to be fine. I'll set it down on the wheels. Let's see what it looks like. It's definitely got the bigs and littles look. I think it'll be good. I don't know, we'll see. That's the look I was going for, the bigs and littles. Not crazy, but definitely a meatier tire on the back. And it gives it a good look from below. Yes, I know my pinion seal is still leaking. Let's see what it looks like over here. Yeah, that's all right. I'm digging the stance. It'll settle out a little bit as time goes on and I drive it around and bounce it and suspension settles. It's all new suspension. There's definitely a gap in the front, but I do kind of like the muscly stance for this particular car, and I'm happy with my choice on the black walls. I will polish up some trim rings and put them on. I got to clean them up a little bit. When I'm doing this, so these are my rings and my centers. You can see they just need a little bit of cleaning. I just use Autosol and a bit of steel wool, and they polish up real quick, and it'll be good enough for what's going on here. But yeah, I'm digging this look. This is good. So that's the look. I think it's pretty good. I obviously have to do the interior stuff still. The car is very much apart inside, but that's not really that bad. But this is a win. This is good. I'm happy. Some meaty looking tires. Different people have different views on what they should put on their cars. It's a very personal. Wheels are a very personal thing. I usually gravitate towards torque thrusts. I have them on like everything. I have them on my 57 truck. They're on the ramp side. I've had them on a bunch of my Corvair stuff before. So my go-to is always torque thrust. So this is different for me. And a couple of friends of mine have been picking on me, telling me not to go with torque thrust. So here I am, not going with torque thrust. This is a more old school look, I think, than the torque thrusts. Yeah, so as mentioned, wheels are a very personal thing, depending on the look you want to go on your car. This car, I was going with all stock suspension. I wanted a good ground clearance for the GM muscle car pan that I have. I just kind of wanted that tough look, not a lowered and stanced look, which I kind of dig on these cars too. But for some reason, you just get a picture in your head of what the car should look like. And it's funny that, after all these years I've owned it, 20, 25 years, I definitely see it in blue, which is very odd because the majority of the time that I owned it, it was purple. It was originally white and gold. I've seen it brown in primer. I've seen it white in primer. And it was only blue for like a year and a half when I was a kid, and friends of mine painted it for me. If you check out my other video that's got the history on this car. But it's funny because out of the 20, 25 years that I've owned it, I only saw it blue for a year and a half, and that's the color that stuck with me in my head. And it's funny, things like the tinted windows. It looked very odd to me without tinted windows because I've seen it for so long, since like 98 with tinted windows. So this is kind of the look that I've always pictured for the car. I've never really been able to pull off. Quite happy with it. I don't think the tires are going to rub. I think it's going to be comfortable with a good sidewall, stock suspension, just Delco stuff. It should ride kind of the way it was supposed to. Only it's got a lot more power with the LS engine. And the Recaro seats and stuff should be pretty comfortable, I think. and I'm looking forward to getting this thing on the road and screwing around with it. It's all already licensed and insured and plated and all that. I don't know the plates on it, but it's plated and all that stuff. I'm looking forward to getting out. It's a nice sunny day, but it's still February. And February in Canada means a lot of salt. So I'm not driving it right now. Um, well, and I can't drive it with no seats. I have the dyno booked for dyno tuning. Excited about that. I have a week off in April, and I'm going to take it on the trailer to get dyno tuned. So that should be good. Let me know in the comments what you think of my wheel and tire choice. I know it's not for everybody. I know some guys like the big 22s that make it sit way up. That's kind of cool in its own right. Not really my thing. I know a lot of guys like the 17, 18s and then have it, the car jammed down on it close to the ground. That kind of pro touring thing is more my feel. This is just different for me. This is like a muscly sort of look, even though it's a little late for a muscle car, but 81, muscle cars obviously were more late 60s, early 70s thing, but I guess this is still a muscly car. I don't know. What do you guys think? Drop me a comment. I read all the comments. I try and respond to all the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks very much for watching, and stay positive and enjoy the small wins like I am.